What's up, guys? Max here, back with another episode of the ScuttleButt Show. It's great to see you all. Let me take 1 second and say what's up to everybody in the chat. Tilted Twister, what's up? My good friend Eric logged in as Dante's Boneyard, my old band you guys might remember. I was rocking out in San Diego about 10 years ago. One of my best buddies, Eric, out there. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys want to go check out all that music, if you're new to the channel, didn't know that I used to be in a band, you can go check it out at that account, Dante's Boneyard. Nuggets coming in third. Thunderbolt Shenanigans, wondering how tall I am. I'm 6'2". 6 feet, 2 inches tall. Larry D's asking me about my inception effect going on here. That's the way to do it. The only way to do it. Mudrock says, any word on Rambo? So you guys remember we bought Rambo. We sent him a letter and we bought him those daily affirmations of motivational support. And I've been getting notifications in my email that he's been getting all of those letters. So you can trust that Rambo has been hearing from us out there at Paris Island, getting his Marine Corps boot camp on. So hopefully when he's done, and maybe he might be about halfway done by now. When he's back on the channel, I can't wait to hear how he did. When we get in the setup tour, Oakley, that's coming soon. I really can't wait to do that for you guys. But there's literally one package I've been waiting for in the mail to finish this whole setup and tell you guys all about it. It just isn't finished until I get this one thing, and I don't want to have to do this setup twice. I already answered. I'm 6'2". Haters are hating out there, calling me 5'2". Angry Contractor, what's up? Eviana, what's up? Alex, thank you. I'm doing great. Fushimi, hello, what's up? Welcome to the channel. How long ago was that pic from the Army Max? Thought you were a Navy guy. Yes, but I did deploy I've spent almost 2 years of my Navy career out there with the Army, wearing Army uniforms, doing Army stuff. So that was 2009 was when that picture was taken. I saw Nuggets had that Jocko Go drink on the Discord. If you guys are interested in checking that out, linked in the description down below. We have a jam-packed show today, but let me hit you guys with a little bit of the about yesterday. So if you guys weren't here for the follow-up stream that we do to this normal show, which is the gaming stuff, I want to let you know, I need you guys to know that today, immediately following this program, we're going to be launching into the campaign of the new Alien game. We're going to be busting caps and xenomorphs on Aliens Fireteam Elite and playing through that campaign. So if you're into that kind of thing, check out, make sure you guys have notifications on for this channel and check out that video when we go live after this normal show. I'm actually really excited about that. Brand new game just dropped today. We're going to be playing through it. Harry Line Pie, what's up? John, what's up? Justin confirming, 6'2", thank you. Great year 2009. Right here from the Delaware Rehoboth? Is that a place or is that like a monster from Transformers? So we have some awesome stories for you guys today. We've got some female veteran stuff that I love talking about. Jay Honey, what's up? Coming at us from Pensacola, where he just finished aircrew school. That's amazing. Hopefully you're classed up in your actual TMS training, maybe. Whatever's going on with you. We've got some crime updates. We have an update on Jonathan Pentland, the staff sergeant who got accused of being racist, had his whole life destroyed, had his home vandalized, all that stuff. You guys know the deal and how I feel about it, but we're going to be able to finally close that out because the trial is over. So we have updates on that. Dante's Boneyard, there should be a share button directly below this video. You'll find it right next to the button that says join, where if you guys click that, you can become channel members for as little as $2.99 a month and support the ScuttleButt Show and get that cool icon next to your name, get your name popping up in a special color on the chat so I can see it better. That's one great way to support the channel if you guys choose to do so. So all that and more on today's episode of the ScuttleButt Show. I thank you all for being here. Let's not waste one more second and get right into it with this insane story out of Korea. Gym teacher at U.S. base in South Korea gets probation for smuggling drugs in a box of chocolates. You know what Forrest Gump said, life is like a box of chocolates. Some of them have Oxycontin in them. So we've got Camp Humphreys, South Korea. A 51-year-old gym teacher at a U.S. military base in South Korea was sentenced to 3 years of probation for attempting to smuggle morphine and oxycodone, which are opiates, painkillers, make you forget about all your problems, into the country, according to the South Korean court filings earlier this month. If you guys aren't aware, if you're military stationed overseas, most of these other countries that we go to have very, very severe penalties for narcotics, illegal substances, prohibited substances. So this is not a good look for this gym teacher. And also, gym teacher, come on. I mean, we know gym teachers are the cool ones, but I can't believe she was out there, slinging pills to probably all the students, trying to be that cool gym teacher. I don't know. Let's see what the article has to say. An unnamed, lucky for her, American working at the unnamed U.S. military base in Pyeongtaek City, Gyeonggi. Oh my God, I butchered that. Don't even ask me how to say that. Attempted to smuggle 120 oxycodone tablets and 315 morphine-based tablets by mail on December 17th. They do check that mail. They do check it. They screen it. You trying to send bad stuff through the mail, they screen that stuff. They have dogs. They have x-ray machines. All that. They screen it. Be careful. People are trying to smuggle alcohol all the time onto the ship in Listerine bottles with some green food coloring into a vodka. You don't think they know the tricks? You think you invented this stuff? No, you did not. This is old school. This has been going on since the beginning of time. The teacher requested the illicit substances from an unnamed source who sent the tablets in a box containing chocolates. What a bad look for chocolate. The teacher, who had no prior convictions, confessed to the crime. The panel of judges ruled the teacher committed a severe offense, sentenced him. Oh, it's him. Him? I don't know why I thought it was a female. Why did I think it was a female? It's a dude. So sentenced him to 3 years of probation in addition to recommending 2.5 years in prison. That's not good. You don't want to be in prison in Korea. So this guy is probably going down pretty hard for this. Now, I don't know if you have 500 opiate pills, you probably get that intent to sell violation going on. So that is definitely not good. That's not what you want. So they're probably going to be going down pretty hard. The crime is not minor, it says. Drug offenses exert seriously bad influences on the society at large, including leaving individuals physically and mentally exhausted, injuring national health, causing other crimes, and so on. Like I said, they pled guilty, so there probably won't be much other information coming out about this. U.S. Forces Korea service members and civilians stationed in South Korea are subject to the Status of Forces or SOFA agreement, which is good that they have a SOFA agreement between the two countries. SOFA defines the legal status of U.S. armed forces, including civilian employees in host countries, and lays out jurisdiction in criminal and other matters. If you guys don't know exactly what a SOFA status is, it means that if you are assigned to a foreign country as a government employee, military, civilian, whatever it is, Dodea teacher at the schools out here, you are only subject to limited penalties by that nation, and a lot of times they'll just turn you back over to the United States for punishment for crimes that you commit. South Korean authorities have the exclusive or primary jurisdiction over almost all offenses committed by U.S. service members, according to the U.S. Forces Korea website. They're most likely to exercise jurisdiction over serious violent crimes and black marketing offenses and attempts to commit such offenses. So hopefully this person gets the penalty that is appropriate for the crime. If they're addicted to opiates, and this was for them because they're taking 10 or 15 oxys a day, that's a serious addiction. That's a personal problem. But if they're selling these to people, especially if they're selling them to high school kids, then I hope they throw the book at them. But we'll see. We'll see information about that. Guys, can we get some likes on this video? Can we get this video up to 30 likes today, this live stream? You know, the new number that I like to see is 30 likes. I'd like to get 30 likes on every live stream. We're at 9 right now. If you haven't hit the like button, it's so easy. It's the thumbs up right below this video or on your phone. Just tap it. Just tap it. It feels so good to do so. And we're doing that as a team. We're liking this video as a team. Let's see. What's going on in the chat? I started weight 10-pound dumbbells. Now I'm doing 15. 10-pound dumbbells. That's great. That's great improvement right there. MC, what's up? Welcome to the chat. Great to see you. They finally moved me over to A school, but I'm in barrack support till September. Barrack support. Well, you'll be really good at stripping and waxing floors. Those pillowcases on those mops are the way to do it, to get that even wax coating on the floor. Facepalm, that's the largest Oconus duty station, John says. Yeah, that and I hear people love South Korea. They love South Korea. Thought they would have been growth hormones, not painkillers. What is this? For the gym teacher? Well, whoever found that box of chocolates had one hell of a trip. Yes, true. 10 to 12 oxys a day sounds like Dr. House. Yeah, you know, a lot of people have serious opiate addictions, and they need that consistent stream of relief throughout the day, or else they get that extreme withdrawal pain that people go through, and that's why it's so hard to quit those things. Alex says, thumbs up, done. Got some Grotto pizza. I'm pretty sure Dole's is gone. I missed the reference to that. I don't know what Dole's is. The only authentic New York pizza you guys need to know about is Sbarro's. Sbarro's is the only authentic New York pizza you need to worry about. Best pizza in New York City, Sbarro Pizza. I can't recommend it highly enough. So they end up on heroin. Yeah, if they can't get the regular pills, that's how people end up on heroin. That's how you end up on the Basketball Diaries movie, like Leonardo DiCaprio. Great classic Leo film. Do you guys like Leonardo DiCaprio, or is he overrated, or do you hate him? Let me know in the comments. Basketball Diaries, a great film about the dangers of taking those opiates. Classic. So we've got, there's a story here. At first I wasn't going to cover it. How many pageants can I talk about on this program? How many beauty pageants are necessary to talk about? We've got Miss Veteran America, 4 veterans in the running for Miss America this year. You guys know if you've been listening to the show. But we've got another one. We've got another one. We've got Air Force Major hopes her pageant wins will inspire more women to become pilots. Pageants to pilots. Here we go. An Air Force officer with a sideline as a pageant competitor is using her spotlight to promote opportunities for women in aviation. And it wasn't until I read the entire story here that I knew this was something I had to share, because this is Air Force Major Raylene Banks, who won her 3rd title, Miss Regency International in Las Vegas on July 31st, 2021, just a few weeks ago. What is it about this pilot, this major, that's so special? Let's get into it. So, born and raised on Guam, territory of the United States, popularly known for their Navy base out there, which is amazing. And there's a little street down the road that has all these incredible strip clubs that I've definitely never been to. Banks entered the Air Force in 2008 as a pilot and has flown the C-17 Globemaster, RQ-4 Global Hawk, and KC-135 Stratotanker during her career. She now works at the Pentagon as Deputy Chief of Agile Combat Employment. I don't know exactly what that is. She says here, I didn't apply for the Air Force until I had already graduated from college and had a job lined up already with the Federal Aviation Administration as an air traffic controller. Air traffic controller, known in the Navy as one of the most stressful jobs you can do. I believe it was at least known as the rate with the highest suicide, which is not something that you want to be known for, but it's because of the incredible amount of stress to get qualified, maintain qualifications, and then do a good job that they're actually putting on E3s and E4s in the Navy to manage dozens of aircraft flying on aircraft carriers and air stations around the world. It's an incredibly difficult job. I know for sure, I can tell you this, that the Air Force Special Operations Command, the combat controllers, they go through this incredibly difficult selection beatdown phase. But what they say is air traffic control school is the real selection because they lose more people in that than they do to the actual brutal physical beatdown part, if that tells you anything about how hard this is. In 2007, I was notified I was selected for pilot training. That was probably one of the best days of my life, she says. Everything changed for her in 2019 when she was unfortunately diagnosed with Graves' disease, an autoimmune disorder that affects the thyroid, and it grounded her flying career, at least for now, unless she goes into remission. I thought to myself, what else can I do with everything that I know and the expertise that I have with what I'm going through with Graves' disease? I saw other women on social media who were friends of friends that competed in pageantry, and I thought to myself, that looks like fun. So here's someone who didn't even know about this opportunity to become a pilot, takes this extremely difficult path to do so, to become a pilot. Then, after accomplishing all that, unfortunately gets diagnosed with Graves' disease, forcing her out of her position as a pilot. But she doesn't give up. She goes, what can I still do to influence and help people? And she found that pageantry is the way. And even though I don't understand the intricacies and all-around effects of pageantry, if they're saying that it helps people and makes the world a better place and inspires people around the world, then that's good enough for me. Since then, Banks has used pageantry as an outlet to promote and encourage women in aviation. When I first started pageantry, she says, my platform was solely based off aviation and trying to get more women into the career field because only 6% of pilots are female, and that number is just so low. Banks has participated in 5 competitions so far and has also been crowned Ms. Virginia North America 2021 and Ms. Guam Petite 2020. What are the categories of Guam beauty pageants, like petite and linebacker? Like, I don't know what the other one is, but Miss Guam Petite 2020. She won the Miss Regency International pageant on July 31st with her husband, Major Joshua Banks. So the husband and wife Air Force duo there, it sounds like. The pageant attracts contestants from across the United States and the world. They have the UK, Australia, Philippines, Mexico, Cayman Islands competed in photogenic, fun fashion, and evening gown competitions. The purpose of Take Flight today is threefold. Banks said that's her platform. It aims to empower women, promote aviation, and educate others on how to promote resiliency within their communities. She volunteered with Girls Day in Aviation back before COVID, also chaired the 99's Let's Fly Now program that provides free intro flights to women, which I think is really cool. If you guys are interested in going out and flying, you can look for a local aviation club in your area. A lot of times they have introductory flights offered for free. Or if you're a female, you can look into applying for this program. So good for her. She's out there doing her thing. She still is a pilot. She can still fly aircraft on her own, but she unfortunately can't fly for the Air Force. But like I said, she's hoping that if she goes into remission, those dreams can become a reality again, and she can get back into the cockpit. And maybe she'll be flying the next flight out of Afghanistan in 2025 or whatever, when we're still there too. Love South Korea, Fort Campbell, BAH, family set pay, $50 hazard pay, and COLA, came to Fort Hood and took a $600 pay cut. Sorry to hear that, John. Those overseas pay benefits are pretty good, right? Especially that tax-free when you're able to get that. OG Litness, what's up? Welcome to the chat. MC, round of applause. It's pronounced Dolly's and makes the best saltwater taffy. Oh, saltwater taffy. So classic. So classic. Can't go wrong with that. Yay, women, Nugget says. I feel like a sense of sarcasm there, but I know there's not. I know Nuggets is on board with the mission there. So this next story, by the way, how are you guys doing? You guys having a good time today? You guys enjoying the show? Can we get 16 more likes? Can we get 16? Who out there is watching hasn't liked the video? I know you're out there. I'm looking directly into your soul through the camera right now. And I know you haven't hit that like button. So stop what you're doing. Minimize the video if you're watching on your phone. Smash that like button. Do that for me. Oakley says, we need more pilots anyways. Heard that veteran fighter pilots are begging students from the academies due to a shortage of fighter pilots. Yeah, for sure. The job's not getting any easier, and the qualified applicants are getting fewer and fewer. Gotta love women. Warheads on foreheads is better than moments in bed. I'm out for a skate on this show. OG Litness. That's awesome. Out for a skate. I like that. Dante's Boneyard says, me. What is that? Me? You trying to go be a pilot? Be a female pilot? I'll do it, though. Oh, what's up? Hello, Phantom. What's up? So a while back, months ago, man, I got to share some with you guys about this. I didn't know, now I did. Oh, nice. We got to 19 likes. We need 11 more. Who's advocating for likes in the chat? So who wants to take over that responsibility for me every few minutes? Drop a reminder. I know you guys got my back out there. So several months ago, I covered the story about Jonathan Pentland. Man, I got feelings about this. I covered the story about Jonathan Pentland. I tried to get a Black Lives Matter manager level person on the show. They agreed to come on, then they ghosted me because I don't think they had a leg to stand on this one. They were out throwing bricks through this guy's window, vandalizing his house, forcing his family out into hotels because they were scared for their lives. He got put on administrative tasking from his job as a drill instructor out in South Carolina. His life's effectively been ruined. He's been blacklisted on the media. He's got thrown under the bus by the Army and all this stuff. And now the facts of the case come out, and it's really pitiful to see what they did to him. It's really pitiful. Chaotix, what's up? I can't believe that the United States Army, as well as the police department, as well as just us as citizens, allowed this to happen to Jonathan Pentland. Now, when I cover the story here, I'm going to finish it with something that maybe I'm reading too much into this, but it's just so upsetting to me. We'll get to all of it. Here we go. Soldier found guilty in confrontation with black man that went viral. I already don't like the headline. Because from the beginning, this story got painted as a race story, and I've been telling you guys from the beginning that I'm not defending this guy as saying what he is or isn't, but that the original video posted online did not seem racist to me, and that I wish we had all the information, including the events that led up to it, and out of the court here, now we do. And maybe for some of you who've been on the fence about this, including, let me stop and mention one other thing too, that this story got the most dislikes percentage-wise of any other video I've ever posted on this YouTube channel, because all the BLM advocates, all of the social justice warriors found this video and left all these extreme comments threatening my life even on this video. This one's out of control. Soldier found guilty in confrontation with black man that went viral. Here's the Jonathan Pentland update. A non-commissioned officer from the Army, an NCO, which means an enlisted E5 or above, depicted in a viral video accosting and shoving a man in South Carolina neighborhood, has been convicted of third-degree assault, the lowest level assault you can possibly get guilty of. And the fact is, he did it. It's on video. It's undisputable. He definitely did it. No one ever said he didn't assault. He shoved at this guy and he smashed his phone on the ground. That obviously happened. No one ever said that part didn't happen. He was drinking at the time, admittedly, and he was worried about the safety of his wife, he claimed, which seems legitimate when you know all the facts of this case. A magistrate judge found Fort Jackson Army Sergeant John Pentland guilty of the misdemeanor Monday after a 2-day trial. News outlets reported he will have to choose between 30 days in jail or a fine of $1,087, and he was suspended from his post prior to the trial. The Army really threw him under the bus, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute. I would just pay the $1,000. Pentland is 42 years old. He's white, and he shoved a man who is black, and that's what the media wants you to believe is the end-all, be-all of the story. The video of their confrontation, which you can go watch my old video on that. If you look up Jonathan Pentland hate attack video, you'll find that. You can see my original comments, which, by the way, turned out to be, as always on this show, I was 100% correct. Pentland testified that he was trying to protect his family from a man acting strangely. The man he shoved, who was 22 years old, not 14, not 12, not 16, like so many people commented on that video saying they knew for a fact he was, said he was trying to avoid a confrontation. We'll see. Wait till you hear what happened with this. The young man, William, says, as a young man, if I go on a walk, I shouldn't feel any form of pressure. Of course, he's telling his side of the story, which was that he was just out on a walk. The officer who arrested Pentland testified that the video of the confrontation spoke for itself. Pentland weighs 100 pounds more than Williams and was towering over the other man while yelling. Of course, I don't understand why that matters at all. Prosecutor Paul Walton said Pentland broke the law 3 times when he shoved Williams before the video started, and again as Williams took an awkward step towards Pentland's wife, and then when he slapped Williams' cell phone out of his hand as he held it up trying to record Pentland. Walton said his pride is hurt. He's a drill sergeant. And he's used to people doing what he says. painting this guy out to be on a power trip, some kind of maniac. Williams, and I don't know what kind of guy this is, but this incident has been painted such the wrong way that it's really out of control. Williams' father cried on the stand as he testified that his son had a form of cancer that caused his brain to swell 2 years ago, and that has left him struggling to understand things since. So the kid who the original report said had some kind of, mental disability and wasn't able to think clearly for the in regards to this incident, what led up to it. And it says here they had some kind of cancer, which is tragic to hear. That is definitely sad. And and that's probably exactly what this was. But it's a far cry from the original reports that this kid was walking down the sidewalk when Jonathan Pentland came running out of his house to attack him for being black while walking, which was the original charges. It's just so crazy. There's so many better things we could have been focusing our attention on with this exact same issue, including I pointed them out and covered other stories around that time, and those people just got a pass. While Jonathan Pentland's home was vandalized, he was forced out of it, he was fired from his job, he's been all over the news as this racist maniac. It's just so dumb. So here is the background on what happened. Pentland's lawyer said the 2-minute video was only part of a small part of the confrontation that took place over 20 minutes. Instead of fully investigating the incident, the officer that signed the arrest warrant testified he never listened to 911 calls about Williams' odd behavior, such as allegedly touching a stranger's baby. The department leaders jumped to a conclusion after public reaction to the video, said defense attorney Benjamin Allen Stitley. They didn't want the truth. They wanted to make up a bully for TV's sake. Pentland said his threatening demeanor and strong language stemmed from his military training to de-escalate situations and resulted from his fear his family would be hurt. He said he was acting in self-defense and not trying to pick a fight. Here's what actually happened. In the days leading up to it, Williams had been walking through that neighborhood. He had been grabbing women. He had picked up some lady's baby at one point. This could be because of the brain damage he suffered from having a form of cancer. And on the day of the incident, he had gone into that neighborhood and started yelling at a girl in the neighborhood. Because some of the neighbors were fearful, they ran to John's house, knocked on the door where he was just hanging out, minding his own business, and said, hey, we need you to come out here. There's somebody causing problems. He goes out there to confront the kid, Williams, the 22-year-old, and that's when the events of that cell phone video took place. He wasn't even involved in the original incident, yet they still chose to just take him and say, all we have to see here is the color of one person's skin and the color of the other person's skin, and there's a video of it, so let's throw that on the news and just claim that we know all the facts of this case. And nobody's denying that the kid was in there kind of harassing neighbors, and he did come from a neighboring neighborhood. He didn't live on that block or anything like that. Not that that matters. Of course, he has the right to walk down the sidewalk in any block that he wants. That's true. And of course, he was assaulted, and that's why in the trial, race was never brought up. The trial was about a simple third-degree assault case, and that's it. Which he did because it was on video. He shoved him, smashed the phone, all that stuff. That's true. So he got penalized for that. And the Army has not made a statement yet on what they plan on doing with Jonathan now that the trial is over. He's probably going to continue to get just destroyed publicly because the Army cares a lot more about their public image than they actually do about the facts or actually taking care of their soldiers. And we know that from all of the Army sexual assault incidences and crimes that we cover on this show, along with the woke Army commercial with Emma. Emma, are you good? Emma, you can email me at thescuttlebuttshow@gmail.com anytime you want if you need to update us on what's going on there. And maybe I'm reading too much into this. It's possible. But, I just have to point this out, okay? If you guys remember, I'm showing you on the screen right now. This is the letter, the official letter from Milford Beagle, Brigadier General, U.S. Army Commanding, who was in charge of the, AO where Jonathan Pentland worked. This is the letter about that incident, okay? If you guys are listening on the podcast, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 paragraphs signed by the general with the Army, symbol on the top there, the letterhead of that command that they're from. And it's about how ashamed and against Army Corps values this whole thing is. This came out the day after the event happened. For anybody had any facts at all whatsoever, this is what the Army said. This next image that I'm going to show, okay, is the Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Mike Gilday's letter on the entire war in Afghanistan. 3 paragraphs that say nothing. This is the Chief of Naval Operations came up with 3 short paragraphs that ultimately say nothing about, to sum up his thoughts on the entire war in Afghanistan. And this brigadier general came up with a full page disgracing Jonathan Pentland for standing up for his neighbors when somebody came in and he was just told that they needed help. That's what's going on with the military right now. So when people are complaining about the way people are reacting about certain things in the military, this is kind of the example that I would point to. Look at how much attention has been there's been more attention from the military as far as official statements go from the Army about disgracing Jonathan Pentland than they ever made about acknowledging their own failures when it comes to protecting their soldiers from traumatic incidents like sexual assault, racism, and other equal opportunity complaints where they are just dead silent about it. So you guys can let me know what you think about that in the comments. But just looking at that letter and remembering back to when we covered that, and then the letter that Mike Gilday released the other day summarizing the entire efforts of the war in Afghanistan, I couldn't help but put together that, maybe Afghanistan deserved a full page. Maybe we could have gotten a full page on the 20-year war in Afghanistan, but I guess not. Let's see. Sam I Am, what's up? Welcome to the chat. No one cares about the basic trainee anymore who went AWOL with his M4 and hijacked the school bus. Yeah, I guess nobody cares about that one. I know this isn't really a good time, but did the insane aim cheats work yesterday? I did not have any cheat. I didn't get the cheats, unfortunately, Phantom. I appreciate the hookup, though. So sorry for both of the people in the situation. There's no winner here. The whole story is BS. Harry Lime Pie with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much. That's a good point. Like the stream, you guys. Harry, thank you so much for being a consistent, just constant, epic supporter of the channel. I really appreciate it a lot. And that super chat goes a long way to making the channel better and better and better. And yeah, let's get 7 more likes on this video. If you guys have just popped in recently, let's get some more likes. Meh, all the BLM protesters who blocked traffic in mass on public streets and interstates got away with the crime. Don't think we'll know the true story if the kid was harassing. By the way, everybody who went there was throwing bricks through his window, surrounded his house with hundreds of people protesting, and I invited the person in charge of those protests onto this show, talked to them on Facebook, I have those messages saved, who agreed to be on the show and then didn't because they know that their whole position on this entire thing was garbage BS. There's more information available online if you guys look up Jonathan Pentland and read the different reports from the different websites that goes even more into what happened leading up to that, but it was 100% not a racist incident, and I'm sticking to that. I said that originally, and I'm sticking to it. What do we got here? The facts are much different than what was reported in the news. Shocked face, right, Larry? Good Robert Mingle. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Yeah. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? MC says Sky News showed that woke Army recruiting ad had used Emma's story as a reference a couple days ago. Thought of this show. Yeah, it's not a good look. Thanks to Mary Jones who just subscribed. Sam I Am. Good morning, Max. Any good food lately? My wife and I have been cooking at home a lot more, and I really like that. Alien Ant Farm reference. Alien Ant Farm reference. Do I have to point out that that's a Michael Jackson song? Fernando, what's up? Hey, what's good, Max? Welcome. Thanks for joining the chat today. It's nice to have you here. Although the Alien Ant Farm version of that song is great, Larry. Thank you. I haven't listened. I could listen to Alien Ant Farm right now. We got Movies is a great Alien Ant Farm song. That's just wrong. If it was 2 white people, would have never made the news. That's a fact, Alex. That is a fact of the matter, for sure. If you guys just started watching this video, drop that like. We need 4 more to get to 30, and we're about probably 2/3 of the way through the show, I'd say. Maybe 2/3 of the way through the show. They covered it. Who's they? Who's they? Sir Nugget says, hi, Rob. Who's they? Who? Dante's Boneyard. By the way, guys, if you have recently joined, click on that Dante's Boneyard YouTube channel, and you'll see my old band and all of our music videos and live performances and stuff. What's up, Ed? Welcome to the chat. It's great to have you here today. Sad story, which means the show's not over because we always end on a positive one. 1 more like to get to 30. Who has not liked this video yet? Who has not liked the video? Oh, they covered it. Alien Ant Farm, yeah. Who has not liked the video yet? 1 more like to get 30 likes. Who's going to be the 30th? Who's going to make it happen? Like this video, make it 30. That would be epic. So we've been talking about, including last Friday when we had Rob Sweetman on, we've been talking about fatigue and, what happens when you get tired and you try to do something complicated. And we've been talking about driving, and especially we've been talking about a lieutenant in Japan who crashed his vehicle into a line of parked cars and ended up killing 2 Japanese people. And there's more information out about that. This is a tragic story all around. But here's probably one of the most important final updates to this story as far as what happened here. Navy officer attributes fatal car crash to altitude sickness after a trip to Mount Fuji. So altitude sickness? A U.S. naval officer who's facing 4.5 years maximum punishment in a Japanese prison for the deaths of 2 Japanese citizens described in court Tuesday how he lost consciousness driving home from Mount Fuji and caused an accident that ultimately claimed the lives of 2 people. Lieutenant Ridge Hahnemann Alconis, who you guys remember was a promising young sailor officer who had been a published author in naval journals and seemed to be on track to have a great career, was driving when he crashed his car into parked vehicles at a soba restaurant in Fujinomiya on May 29th. We've been covering the story ever since. He was on the USS Benfold, was his ship. Now, I just climbed Mount Fuji with my wife and some friends of ours, and altitude sickness is a very real thing there, but you should be recovering from altitude sickness a few hours after your hike, and you should definitely not be operating a motor vehicle with altitude sickness or really anytime you're not feeling 100%, but they go into why he did that. So Alconis, who was charged with negligent driving resulting in death, said he lost consciousness due to acute mountain sickness, a common set of symptoms that occur with a trip to high altitude. The top of Mount Fuji being about 13,000 feet. I'm telling you, there's no question altitude sickness on Mount Fuji is a real thing. You go from basically just a few hundred feet off the ground to 13,000 feet in about 8 hours. So it's no joke. Killed in the crash was a woman 85 years old who died that day and a man 54 who died June 11th after a long stay in the hospital. A second woman, 53, suffered bruises. Alconis testified Tuesday in Shizuoka District Court that he suffered about altitude sickness that day, a leftover effect of the trip he and his wife and their 3 children had made up the iconic mountain. He said, which is a volcano, by the way, just as a side note. He said 2 doctors, a general practitioner and a neurologist, had diagnosed him with acute mountain sickness after the accident. Symptoms can feel like a hangover and include dizziness, headache, muscle aches, and nausea. I felt my body get weak and my car drifted out of the lane, but I was able to correct it quickly. He said in court, 5 minutes later, he began to talk with one of his children when he lost his memory and a crash ensued. So he was already dozing off, getting tired. Then he blacked out. Next thing you know, the crash happens. He says, I feel sorry for the suffering and the pain I've caused the victims and their families, Alconis said during the trial. Alconis did not dispute the facts of the indictment. A sentencing hearing is scheduled for October 18th. The Shizuoka District Public Prosecutor's Office recommended a severe 4.5-year term because they said that if they don't give him the maximum penalty, it's just going to happen again because nobody will learn their lesson from his example. There was no emergency or necessity for him to continue driving. He carelessly continued to drive. It's tough to argue against that. Alconis told the presiding judge, Shizuoka District Judge Kamiko Misawa, that a suspended sentence would mean that he was ordered back to the United States and discharged from the Navy, and that would be the end, and there would never really be any major justice for the victims. The 85-year-old victim was a relative of the 2 people killed in the crash, made a statement in court. The 85-year-old victim was her mother. The woman told the court the 54-year-old was her brother-in-law, and that day was her mother's birthday. Terrible. Terrible. I couldn't believe what happened thinking about her cheerful voice in the morning, she said. It's painful to think how scared she was and how painful it was for her. It's sad. It's sad. The prosecutor says, I asked the court for severe punishment. Otherwise, a similar tragedy like this will continue to happen. The bereaved family will not forgive the defendant who took 2 lives. It is sad. Alconis said he never before experienced something like that. He does not drink alcohol and had not taken any medicine that could cause drowsiness and had slept well the night before. Alconis testified that he rendered aid as best he could, including trying to move vehicles off the 2 victims who were trapped. So after he caused the accident, he got out of the car and tried to help. He says, I tried to do everything I can to help those who'd been hurt. If those efforts were not enough, insufficient, I'm sorry. Alconis' wife, Brittany Alconis, testified that she felt severely car sick due to the winding roads, which the roads down off of Mount Fuji are very winding, and could not take over driving for her husband. We are terribly sorry this happened, she said. We love this country and only want to contribute to it, referencing Japan. So it's a sad story all around. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do here. He did it. He's responsible. Nobody's arguing that. Is it a tragic accident or was it negligent for him to continue driving? I guess that's the question. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Should he have continued driving knowing because he was diagnosed with mountain sickness? Let me know. Somebody said, is it 13,000 feet? It's 3,400 meters, something like that. So it's maybe not 13,000, but it's something up there. It's 3,400 meters or 3,600 meters. So if somebody can do the calculation on that, to however many feet that is. I thought he meant at Bridgeport, Cali was higher. God bless him. That's terrible news. It's the highest point in Japan. A terrible sequence of unfortunate events. That's true. Can I hit the like button twice? Guys, we're still cruising at 29 likes. Who has not liked this video yet? Who has not liked this video yet? Like it. Like the video. Get it to 30 if you have not liked the video. Eviana, the link to the band is, if you just click the, if you YouTube search, what am I saying? If you YouTube search Dante's Boneyard or click on that user's name, if you can, you'll find all the videos there. We've shared them on the show before. The only problem is, even though that music is in part copyrighted by me, registered to me, as well as the other members of the band, if I play that music on this YouTube channel, I get demonetized. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to get the rights to use that music on my own YouTube channel, but yeah, I can't. So it's not the intent, it's the result. Well, intent is hard to prove, right? But that's what they have to prove. Not the highest point in Japan when I'm there, because Justin's up in the 60s. Justin's flying in the 60s, which that's pretty high in the 60s too. That's pretty high altitude. Let's see. If he just got back from Fuji on a drive back, shouldn't be charged. But he was diagnosed. He was diagnosed with mountain sickness. Probably should have been, if that's true, he probably should have been advised. 3,600 meters is 11,800 feet. Okay, so that's probably about how tall it is. It's a little bit of both. A good driver knows when not to drive, but he had no negative intentions. Take that last comment back. Where was Alex? He was high, but it wasn't from the altitude. Well, he apparently wasn't. So he apparently was just suffering from altitude sickness, which I've seen now personally take down some pretty tough people. They're having a pretty hard time with altitude sickness. We need to figure that out so you can use your own music. I'll look into it. Thanks, Eric, from Dante's Boneyard. It'd be great if I could use that music on the channel. I totally would. There's some great soundtrack music in that discography. So, yeah, guys, check that channel out. Our music video for our song "Not Jaded" is on there, and it's pretty epic. It's good times back in the day. So it's been like a year since we had an update on this last story, because when you get to be pretty high ranking in the military, taking command, getting your next job is pretty in-depth. There's a lot of schools to go to, a lot of qualifications, a lot of processes and procedures. Yes, that's right. That is a song, All I Have. Yep, that's one of our songs. You have to be careful with the videos that you click, because after I left the band, somebody replaced me, so you might not see me in every video, but you have to find the videos that I'm in. There's only a few up there that I'm not in, but just to explain why you might not see me in the videos. I left the band because I went back to sea duty in the Navy, and they had to replace me as the bass player. So, but he knew he was experiencing altitude sickness, wasn't he? Unfortunately, I think I would vote negligence. Yeah, Sam, that's a tough one. Max seems like the drummer type. No, I was playing bass. I was strumming the bass, which is like the most annoying thing to say to a bass player. Slapping a bass. So the highest ranking people, like let's say, for example, because we're about to talk about it, the commanding officer of an aircraft carrier has an extremely, extremely difficult and complex job. And once you get assigned to an aircraft carrier, the process of taking command takes a really long time. So we have an update on somebody who is now officially commanding officer of the USS Abraham Lincoln. This Navy captain is now the first woman commanding a nuclear aircraft carrier. So this is good news. We've been covering Captain Eamon Bowner-Schmidt for the last year or so, since she got assigned to be the next commanding officer of the Abraham Lincoln, and now she officially is. She's the first woman to command a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. When I was on the USS Ronald Reagan, my first command, a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, our command master chief was a female. She was badass. And she was basically beloved by all. She was a hull technician, which means she worked on the plumbing, the poop stuff, and she was great. She was awesome. Bowner-Schmidt, who previously served as the carrier's XO from 2016 and 2019, relieved Captain Sergeant Slaughter, of his duties August 19th during a change of command ceremony in San Diego. Can't believe this guy's name was Sergeant Slaughter. There is no more humbling sense of responsibility than to know you are entrusted with the care of the people who have chosen to protect our nation, she says in a Navy news release. Thank you, Captain Slaughter, for turning over the finest ship in the fleet. Everyone says that about their ship. The carrier, home-ported at Naval Air Station North Island, NASNY, wrapped up its maintenance period in April following a 294-day round-the-world deployment. That sounds like it probably sucked, because they were probably struggling out there during COVID. The Lincoln left Norfolk Naval Base, its previous home port, in April 2019, and after its deployment was extended twice, arrived at its new home port in January 2020. Maybe it was before COVID. Maybe it was pre-COVID. I'm not sure. The Navy announced in December 2020 that Bounderschmidt had been tapped to command the Lincoln. After graduating from the U.S. Naval Academy in 1994, Bounderschmidt became a helicopter pilot assigned to HSL-45, the Wolfpack, who I got to party with in Bahrain one time, which was crazy. That was actually when I was leaving the USS Ronald Reagan. She deployed with destroyer John Young and supported maritime interdiction operations in the Northern Arabian Gulf. She was assigned as an instructor pilot and QA officer with the Seahawks, HSL-41, also in San Diego. So she loved that San Diego life. This isn't her first commanding officer tour either. Very common for that level of, taking command of a aircraft carrier, one of the most, maybe the most prestigious commanding officer billet you can get in the Navy. Actually, it probably is. It's usually their second time being a CO. There'll be a CO of a smaller command, XO of a carrier, CO of a carrier. She's previously served as the commanding officer of Helicopter Maritime Strike Squadron 70 in San Diego, and she has racked up more than 3,000 flight hours in her career. So it's great to say that she has officially taken command, and the Navy now has its first female aircraft carrier commanding officer. In the books, it's done, it happened, so bravo Zulu to her. She is, in fact, super legit. To Captain Bounderschmidt. I know someone that hiked from Kathmandu to the base camp at the base of Mount Everest. She had to be heloed down because of altitude sickness. She was extremely fit, Larry says. Yeah, fitness has nothing to do with it. I think if he knew he shouldn't have been driving in those conditions, it would be negligent, Dante's Boneyard says. I kind of agree. I kind of agree with that too. I had the stream running 4 times, Phantom. That's amazing. Thank you. But we still need one more like to get to 30. Who's holding out on me? Who has not liked the video that's watching right now? One more like to get to 30, you guys. One more like. I can't tell you how many times I got lost inside of a Navy ship. Sailors didn't want to help out a poor lost Marine, Sam says. My first day on the aircraft carrier, I checked in, they walked me up to my room, and I spent the next 45 minutes trying to get down to the hangar bay. At one point, I just sat down going, I'm going to die here. I've gotten myself lost, and they're going to find my skeleton here on the 03 level. It's very confusing. Bass is awesome. Bass player from Muse is good. Oh, yeah, for sure. Now I have it running 5 times. Damn, now that's a metal name, Sergeant Slaughter, for sure. Good old stinking Lincoln. Paul Rudd reference from I Love You Man, underrated flick. Super underrated. You have to request permission from the highest ranking person at the table you want to eat at in order to eat at the same table. Unique naval traditions. Yep. We did it. 30 likes. 30 likes, you guys. That's amazing. That's amazing. As we roll into our last story, we might end up getting out of here a little bit early today. But if we do, please remember, if you're interested in watching a scary live stream, we're going to be live streaming Aliens Fireteam Elite, dropping xenomorphs, going up there as a Space Marine. Right after this, it's going to be pretty fun. Brand new game just dropped. We're going to be launching that live stream shortly after this one concludes. On my Oiler, we had a full bird captains learning the ropes of commanding deep draft ships before they move to being an A carrier skipper. Yeah. Surf Break. Yep. Great song. Surf Break is a great song. That's my favorite bass line was from Surf Break, actually, for sure. Yeah, guys, go check out that music, Dante's Boneyard, if you want to see my whole band. So we're going to end it on something nice. We're going to end it on something positive here. We're going to watch a little video together of one of those, surprise homecomings. When those service members show up to surprise their family when they're not expecting it and the tears are flowing, it's going to be amazing. So that's what we're going to do next. Nugget probably created another YouTube account just to like the video. Hey, if that's true, Nugget, then thank you. That's the only tradition for officers as they get served their lobster and steaks. What system you playing the game on? PC. Rock and roll, Eviana. Nugget says maybe. Yes, let's go. I'll take it where I can get it. As always, guys, the greatest ways to support the channel are by clicking that join button right below this video or checking out Patreon. If you do join Patreon as an elite patron on your second month, I'm going to send you a free t-shirt. A free t-shirt, so it pays for itself in 2 months with all the other benefits that you get too. So feel free to check those out. Also, all the merch is available, including the ScuttleButt Show t-shirt, the Train to Train shirt. I'll show you guys the back of it really quick. The Train to Train t-shirt that I'm wearing right now, available at ScuttleButtShow.com. You guys can check all that out. And currently through September 1st, 10% off the online store with promo code 6DIF. The information is in the description of this video. Is it crossplay? I'm not sure. I don't think that it's out yet on console. I won't cry. I will fight the tears on these homecoming vids. I have yet to win. Max, did you know Kyle Carpenter has a YouTube channel? Yes, I do know that. He posts great videos. especially on like Memorial Day. The greatest bass riff of all time is Paranoid from Black Sabbath, Terry Geezer, Butler slapping the bass. Oh, Eric, the Dante's Boneyard YouTube channel will appreciate that comment for sure. You have hoodies? There is a hoodie on there. How many likes for you to dress up as Goku for a live stream? Well, last year I dressed up as Cobra Kai for Halloween, so I would dress up as Goku for one more like. Damn, I just joined. Curse Boy, that's okay. We got the gaming live stream next, and we've got a nice story right here. We've got a nice story right here, so let's check this out. Let's get into it. Let's not delay any further. And if you guys have any questions for me that you want to ask, anything at all about anything, I'll answer them after this video plays. So we have here, woman surprises family while on leave from the U.S. Navy, and this video is quite a delight. So let's watch this and see what is going on here. You guys ready?
An Eau Claire woman is home today after 3 years spent serving the country. Her homecoming was a surprise for her family. WEAU's Leanne Stapleton captured the emotional reunion.
Morgan Mocha serves in the United States Navy. She hasn't been home in 3 years.
It feels really good to be home. I've been away for a long time.
Morgan's been stationed in Spain since 2018. With strict COVID restrictions, she hasn't seen her family until Sunday.
You gotta love that, those proud parents. You know what it is? It's like parents just must be so happy to see their kids thriving, you know, getting out of their hometown, doing good, coming home in uniform, doing things that they never got to do. I'm giving myself the goosebumps right now.
My aunt, my mom, and my baby cousin were going to come visit me in Spain, but with all the restrictions and everything, they weren't able to come over.
With the help of her aunt, Morgan surprised her parents at their restaurant, Chickadee's in Eau Claire, for a heartfelt reunion.
I told my aunt that I wanted to come home and surprise everybody, so she kind of helped me put everything together, and she made most of the plans. She did all the hard work. I just showed up.
Morgan's parents were overwhelmed with emotions and overjoyed to see their daughter finally back home.
I'm still weak in the knees. I can't believe it.
Total surprise.
Rhonda Krummenauer, Morgan's aunt, says there's nothing
It is,
better
Justin.
than
It is
seeing
you, Claire.
family in person.
Like when people are, the military service members are overseas and they're gone for so long, you talk to them over FaceTime, what do we do, FaceTime and Snapchat, but it is just never the same as having them here in person and knowing that they're safe, and coordinating her getting here without anybody knowing it was scary, and just the really nerves were heightened, but I think it worked out really well, and her mom and dad are just going to be so blessed to have her home.
In Eau Claire, Leanne Stapleton, WEAU 13 News.
All right, so that's that story, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's nice. I always love to see that. I do. I really do. It's quite nice to see. Those military homecomings are really sweet, right? They're good. It's impressive when they can coordinate that, get all the family in one same place, and that's Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and at some nice little Chickadee's. What can be sweeter than like Chickadee's restaurant? You know what I mean? It's just like the most hometown thing you can think of. Let's see. Northern Indiana is going to get destroyed right now. What's that all about? I'm going to be destroyed right now, Phantom. What is my EDC? Are you asking what's my everyday carry? If you are, it's in a fanny pack. It's a fanny pack. God damn, I'm crying. He really enjoyed canoeing from Huntsville, Texas. Hot as hell. I doubt he has one in Japan. Let's see. It's his one wheel. Nice. Yes, I'm trying to get out on the one wheel more. 3 years. Damn, you bastard. We're going to have a word after this stream. Is that Eau Claire, Wisconsin? Yep. Anyone here been or lived in Spain? I've been to Rota, and I've been to Morón Air Force Base near a city called Sevilla, and both were great. I had a great time at both. Both were back to back. I was on my way to Iraq in 2015 when we stopped in Morón Air Force Base, and then we drove to Sevilla on a bus and partied for like 20 hours, and then drove back and got on a plane again to land in Rota, where we partied for 24 more hours and then went to Iraq. So choices were made, you can say. It was extra hot when we landed in Iraq as a result of that. Let's see. Been there, but never lived there. It's cool. My wife cried for 15 minutes when my son came home on leave after 8 months last week. It's mother-wife thing to cry. Oh, Larry, that's sweet. I'm sorry, but I've done all the traveling to see my family in Connecticut on my dime. If they want to visit me in the future, it's time for them to take a trip to Texas. John, I feel you on that, actually. Why is it always that I love Sevilla? Rob, were you on that flight? Were you on that same flight where we got stopped in Sevilla and then in Rota? Were you on the same plane? So, you know, I used to fly home to New York to see family. No one ever flew out to San Diego to see me. Can you believe that? Got a great bullet in Rota. That's awesome, Mudrock says. Hell yeah. I like the videos with the dogs going crazy. Oh, I like those too. Nikki MGTV was stationed in Rota for 3 years. That's right, guys. By the way, Nikki posted a video this morning bashing female veterans. Not on this channel. On this channel, we support female veterans. Rob Sweetman says, I love Sevilla. Yeah, hell yeah. Yes, sir. Oh, that trip was so crazy. That trip was so fun. Rob, I don't know if you remember or even if you know, but on that trip, our SEA, our senior enlisted advisor, was like, hey, of the UAS department was like, hey, you know, I used to be stationed here. I bet I still remember the bus schedule. And he was talking about from like 13 years earlier. So we get on the bus to Sevilla, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, we're standing, and our movement was at like 09. 4 o'clock in the morning, we're waiting for the bus. It's like a 45-minute drive. And we're just standing there at the bus stop. It's cold. And we're like, if you're wrong about this bus schedule that you're just remembering from 13 years ago, we're going to miss movement. And he goes, trust me, I got this. And then 30 seconds after the bus was supposed to arrive and I'm starting to lose all hope, headlights come around the corner and it's the bus. And we made it back and we made movement. It was sketch. It was super sketch. Choices were made. Let's see. My big storm in Indiana. I hope everyone's hanging in there okay. I had 8 or 9 port visits to Spain during 2 meds. España is muy caliente. I heard a lot of great stories about Spain from those who have had liberty there. Then after we got to Rota, some of the guys rented a car and drove out to the Rock of Gibraltar. But I was like, you know what? I think I'll stay a little closer to home. I can't deal with the stress of almost missing movement again. 40 likes and Max will do a face reveal. Yes, what do I really look like? What is my true face? All right, guys. We're going to wrap up today's live show on that note. As always, don't forget that Thursday, 1800 Pacific Standard Time, Friday, my time in Okinawa, is Kwanda, question and answer, where we can just chat, relax and chat. I won't have anything prepared. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. But please, if you can, check out the links in the description down below on all the ways to support the channel, as well as checking out the podcast. Check out the podcast. If you can, if you get a minute, go on, listen to old episodes. If you're new here, go back, listen to episode 3, 4, 5, 40, 50, 70. We're on episode 215 now. We have so many great interviews with so many great guests from back in the day, and I would love to have you guys go check those out. Maybe leave me a review. Maybe leave the podcast a review. You know, I'll tell you guys, the Dante's Boneyard YouTube channel is listening right now. Eric, one of my best buddies in the whole world, was there the very first day we ever did the ScuttleButt Show. He was in the sound booth. You remember that? Do you remember that, Eric? The very first day, November 2017, the very first ScuttleButt Show. And he was there. Let's see. 41 likes. Bicep reveal. He removes 1 article of clothing per 10 likes. Some of these guys are getting desperate out there. Let's get some more collectibles in the backdrop of that studio. Oh, for sure. 43 likes. Nuggets will stop watching anime for 1 week. All right. So we'll be back in probably 15, 20 minutes with the Alien Fire Team Elite live stream. Don't miss that. Yes, sir. Love you, man. Love you too, bro. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. I cannot wait to play this Aliens game. It's going to be so exciting. I cannot wait. So join me for that one if you guys feel like it. Just have notifications on so you don't miss whenever I'm going live. There's big stuff coming soon. We have crazy plans for the show. Seriously, crazy plans. And with all that being said, thank you guys for joining me today. Shout out to all the patrons and members, Ika, Justin, Rachel, Harry Lime Pie, Mudrock, everyone who's out there. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you, Harry Lime Pie, for the super chat. And until next time, which will be in a few minutes for those sticking around for the game stream. Otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow at 1800 Pacific Standard Time. That's the ScuttleButt.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points and may God have mercy on your soul.